Are we good? Are we good? Okay. Can y'all hear me now? All right. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. All right. Let's see if people start coming in. All right. All right. First, okay. All right. You're gonna take two. Now, I need a thumbs up from everybody. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? My pack. Can you hear your alpha? Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Loud and clear. All right. There we go. There we are. All right. All right. Now we I don't know what the that was. Okay. I don't know what the fuck happened, but something shit happened. Okay. On the final day here now, we're having technical difficulties. All right. Take two, guys. Once again, like I said, guys, what is going on? Hope you guys are well. So why am I doing this? Well, it is I usually supposed to do two Q&As a month. It is August 31st, 2021, and this is the end of an era. Meaning, reason why is because, guys, this is the final time you're going to see me in this location. Uh, that's it. Moving and off to a new location. Um, so different location. So you will, whenever I put the Q&A, you'll see me in a different location now. So now that I'm here, yeah, oh wow, we got 6 people coming in. Once again, like I said, for all those who came back, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. And just here to hang out and answer some questions for a while, chill. Uh, if you hear it's all tied up in the back, Malcolm's playing the game. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Uh, it's a knock knockout city. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's like a dodgeball game. It's really fun to play. So, like I said, so everybody can hear me. That's good. Everybody can hear me. All right. So let's see what's going on. So the first question is, Warhawk Rambo, am I happy CM Punk is back? Uh, yeah. I mean, I need to see him in the ring, but yeah, I'm happy that he's back. I mean, let's see where this goes with him and Darby. But I am happy that he's back. And then he goes ahead and ruin it, saying that Brian Danielson's coming too. But you know, I'm happy for him. I love that he came out and you can legitimately see him fighting tears. You know, like you know, he's about to cry. You know, but it was stuff like that that I like. You know, and anybody razzing on the fan that we saw crying, get off your high horse because that was if it was somebody that I haven't seen in a long time and he came back, yeah, it'd probably been me too. So yeah. Is this really the final Q&A? Why is this final Q&A in this location? Yes. Hey, Chris, guess who says this? Be my victim. Candyman. And no, I have not seen Candyman yet. I definitely want to see it. I've heard mixed things about some of the people that saw it before me. Some say they liked it, but then the third act is where it kind of falls apart. Um, but some of the stuff that they talked about, that like my friend Mr. Multi, he talked about it. We talked about it when he said, Candyman now feels like Ghost Rider, and I'm like, in a good way or bad way, and he's like, you know. But I'm happy that it's doing well at the box office. And the director of this Candyman is directing the Captain Marvel sequel. So if she could do that, that's good. Indeed. Personally, I didn't agree with how they went about leaving WWE, but I can understand why he did it. He did it for his health. That's the main thing. Health. He was miserable there, so you know. So, what do you think about all the lore changes for Shang-Chi's overall mythos in both the MCU and the comics? Not that much has changed in comics. They just have expanded his lore. Comic wise, they just expanded it. Ain't nothing changed. The only thing that changed is his father's name, and that was way back before Gene Young took over the main. They did that in Secret Avengers. They changed his name, his father's name. So it has nothing to do with the changes in the comics. The comics, his mythos, his lore has just expanded. He has more brothers and sisters now, and we all knew that. If you known Shang-Chi as much as I know, his father was planting seeds everywhere. Different women, different anybody he saw was capable of bearing his seed. Yeah. These unknown women were just baby makers for him, just to so he can get a legacy. As for the movie, I don't mind. Like, look, the MCU is they're gonna adapt a lot of things, and they may take things away or even adapt it to make that character feel a little bit more okay. Him being the Mandarin's son, I got no problem with. I love how the Ten Rings work. I hope they still are somewhat alien based. If not, that's fine. Can't wait to see Shang because that looks just beautiful. The more I'm seeing these trailers, the more visually it looks beautiful, and I'm pulling for everybody in it. And the more I look at it, the more I'm just like I'm saying to like all my Asian buddies and all my fellow Asian geeks, like, yeah, now you're gonna get yours now. You're gonna get yours. Not in a bad way, in a positive way. We got ours with Black Panther. Y'all gonna get yours with this. And I can't stress the fact even more that whole statement of representation matters because after that first trailer teaser dropped, and I saw that image of that little Asian boy trying to do the moves and mimicking, I was like, don't tell me that don't matter. Don't tell me it doesn't matter because that was just that almost made me cry because I was like, but one thing I can honestly say right now is like if the fights are anything as what I'm seeing, this is truly where I'm gonna be like, yeah, see, Iron Fist should have waited. Just saying. From what I'm saying, looking down. In New York, I'm fine. Nothing is. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. We did have a tropical, like a storm, come through not too long ago. It was supposed to be really heavy. It was. I forgot what tropical storm it was. It rained a lot, not that much. Everything's good. Yeah, seen the No Way. You seen the No? I saw the No Way Home trailer. I did a reaction to it. Go check out my reaction. Go check it out. I don't just make it. Check it out, man. Y'all, I say that because y'all the ones that always be like, oh, hey, you're gonna put up a reaction to the comic stuff. Y'all always want me to react to the comic movies trailers. Go support it, man. Like Go do it. Like, um, I had a lot of fun watching that, and I have my questions. I have my suspicions of who. I don't think that's Doctor Strange, at all. I don't. There's just certain things about it that just don't smell right. There's a couple of people I think it is. It could be Baron Mordo in disguise. It could be a certain devilish character from a hell dimension. It just doesn't feel, because at no point did you see like the cloak of levitation act. It just didn't do a lot of things, and but I am looking forward. And then just showing Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, that was beautiful. I was like, yeah, that's nice. Still looking like Jesus. Dude, Shang is cool. I mean, Shang-Chi, damn right he is. It's his time, and I'm glad that he's getting it. I've been a fan of Shang or Shang-Chi for a long time. He is the embodiment of Bruce Lee. Him and Iron Fist came out around the same time, and back in the day, they were always who was the better in martial arts, him or Iron Fist? And most of the time, they were always like neck and neck. Sometimes Shang-Chi, sometimes Iron Fist. But it wasn't until like later where they wrote that Danny says, I think he was talking to Doctor Strange when he told him about Shang-Chi, and he's like, look, if I don't use the Iron Fist, yeah, he can beat me. That's what he is. Why is it that when the film studios try to diverse and include, they keep being accused of being woke? I don't know. It's just, yeah, I guess the best way, Caroline, is just is ignorance, is stupidity. This has nothing to do with wokeism. This is the character's origin. This is the culture. Nobody was rocking on with Black Panther. Why are you? So it's like what do you? Shang is Asian. He's Chinese. He's not Chinese American. He's Chinese that came to America. So why shouldn't we embrace his origin? Why shouldn't the cast be 50 to 90% Asian? I have no problem with that. Why shouldn't the director be Asian for this? Because he can understand more of what it's like. Doesn't mean it'd be good, but it gives a feel, and it's fine. And the fact that you got some legendary actors in it. First of all, you got Tony Leung in this. This guy's a legend. You got Michelle Yeoh, and I love her. I love her. You got some great actors and actresses in this, and I love that Shang has gotten this position to shine. I don't agree with what the Disney had said. This is just an experiment. Fuck that. No, this ain't no experiment. Okay, this is not an experiment. And I agree with Mr. Liu when he took like, it took exception. Like, really? No, this is not an experiment. It's another iconic Marvel character getting his shine. Shang-Chi has been around for 40 plus years. 40 plus years. He is basically the Bruce Lee of the Marvel Universe. He is a true homage to that legendary man. Period. Ain't nothing woke about him. All those people that say that, they're ignorant and stupid. Don't listen to them. Okay, so any particular thoughts about the new Navajo character being the Werewolf by Night? They seem to be going more with the current Werewolf by Night. In the miniseries they did, there was a miniseries that was written by Black Eyed Peas member Taboo. He wrote it along with another guy. I'm forgetting the other guy. I read it. I liked it. This was why shouldn't it be? If you know Navajo culture, skinwalkers, skinwalkers, and things like that. The wolf plays a big factor in all Native American culture. It is a spirit animal, so I have no problem with that. Would it be cool to see not Jake, uh, Russoff, Jacob Russell, the original? Yeah, but who knows? They could say this is a it's he couldn't be the only one. And the fact that they want to do like a Halloween special for Werewolf by Night, all right, cool. Let's do it. Let's start getting those more of them supernatural characters out there. To me, Phase 4 and Phase 5 should be now where Marvel just takes the reins off of and be like, okay, we're not going to be holding back on these characters. They're out there. Let's do it. Like let's not pull the reins on them. Let's not ground them too much now. It's time to start. We've seen that enough. Now let's start going out there. I still have a belief that if it is true they may be doing a Secret Wars movie, that would be the perfect way to incorporate the X-Men and vampires and stuff. And after the war is over, that universe becomes the full where all the characters in there. Good to hear because we're good here too. We just hit spring today. Fucking hate spring. It makes me sneeze a lot. Allergy season. I'm glad to see Green Goblin again. Yeah. I was shocked when I saw that. I was like, Green Goblin. It looked like they maybe going the full Sinister Six or some version of it in this. I still believe that this is also going to be an adaptation of One More Day, which I hate that storyline. But I'll be honest. So far, every storyline in comics that I have hated from Marvel, and if they adapted it into the movies, they've done a better job. Civil War, I hate Civil War. I hate that story. I hate both of them. But they did a better job in the movies than now. So if they're gonna do One More Day, then I'll be fine. And if it comes out better, I'm fine. But I just who knows. I doubt it's Mystique because Mystique can't do magic. We saw magic being done. You ever seen Mystique doing magic? Ain't no way they're not bringing the X-Men this early. No way. I know for a fact that everybody's saying Mystique on that. That's not her. No way. Yeah, yeah. Mystique has nothing to do with Spider-Man. That makes no sense. They don't even cross paths. So what do you think about the plot story of the upcoming version of Blade is going to be? Um, hopefully, hopefully, the one thing I hope for the Blade movie with Mahershala Ali is they follow more of the original source material. So Blade being born in England, um, in an English brothel, his mother, still do Deacon Frost, but go into detail that Deacon Frost is the only vampire that has double fangs. That was a big excuse me. That was a big thing for Deacon Frost. He was like the only vampire that had double fangs. Nobody else had that. No other vampire had that. Also, no Whistler. There is no Whistler. Whistler was only created in the cartoon, and then of course the movie. The real person that trained Blade was a jazz musician named Ayafa. And if I'm Marvel, I'm Kevin Feige. The original trainer of Blade should be Wesley Snipes. That's how you bring Wesley back in. That's how you do Wesley. And like, here, thank you for your contribution. Thank you for pushing forward this hype train, this train. Thank you. That's how you do. Don't just have him as a random cameo. That's just me. Um, Out of curiosity, has Shang-Chi ever fought the Hulk? And if so, who you think fair in the fight? No, he's never fought the Hulk, but he's fought Thing. He actually beat Thing. He's fought Thing. He's fought Wolverine. He's fought Doctor Doom. He's beaten them all. He can beat superpowered heroes with just his hands. His body is a living weapon. He's trained his body so much. He is literally the best hand-to-hand combat character in the Marvel Universe. And I'm just in general. There's a reason why he's called the Master. Since he was born, he did nothing. He did one thing, two things: eat, sleep, train. Three things: eat, sleep, train. That's what he did. Let me see. Let me see. It's always cool to see an underrated character get a shot. Marvel is that's the one thing I'm loving about Marvel is they're taking those shots and those opportunities. We may know who these characters are, but the main audience don't know. They don't know. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy is a big example of that. Nobody knew who they were outside of people who read the comics. It was a hit or miss with that. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is going to be the first flop of Marvel. It's going to be that chink in the armor." What happened? People loved it. The music was great. Sure, I wish they didn't go with that lineup because the real lineup of the Guardians of the Galaxy is Vance Astro, Yondu, Charlie 27. All of this lineup they use now, that's from Dan Abbott and Andy Landon's run, which I don't mind. And I also wish they didn't make Star-Lord to be out like a comedic joke in a sense. Star-Lord is a badass. Before he was a badass. And then they adapted him, made him all weird. I don't like how they did Drax. They nerfed Drax. It is what it is. But still, they've done that. And I'm not saying that DC isn't trying. They are trying. But they're not. To me, I want them to succeed too. Don't make no mistake about it, guys. Your alpha does not want to see DC fail either, because I love those characters too. But it's high time that they start doing characters and taking maybe a little bit of what Marvel has done, not everything, but stop having your goddamn mouth so far up Batman's ass. Like, you got to bring Batman back. It's like, how much more of Batman you guys gonna understand that? Okay, we know this guy. Okay, I'm hearing stories that this new one with Patterson is dark and gritty, and it's almost like a horror. Okay, but will I check it out? Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But it's just like, how much Batman do we need? Just saying. Let's see. Always under. Okay. What do you think about Tillian leaving the current Batman and come? Fine. It's okay. He wants to leave the focus more on his own creative. That's fine. He's not leaving the industry. He just wants to focus on his own. We already know that Joshua Williams is going to take over Batman. That's fine. I've read his stuff. It's okay. When he was on Flash, it was okay. But I'm fine with that. Are you interested in seeing the new movie on Aretha Franklin? Honestly, cannot wait to watch it. I usually wait for bio movies. I watch them on my own time. It's not that I don't like bio movies. Uh, it's just sometimes to the point. You notice a bio movie comes out most of the time when, especially for an artist, is when they pass away. It's never when they're around. Well, what's love got to do with it? Tina was still around, but I'll check it out when I on my own time. Uh, Real David, bring back lunch thoughts. I enjoyed when you talked to us on your lunch breaks. Oh, you like that, huh? Uh, maybe I will bring that back. Maybe I will. Uh, who knows? I may bring that back. Let's see. Uh, if I may bring it back. If I bring it back, then you guys better watch. Don't tell me to do something now. Don't and then y'all don't watch. Would you like to see Marvel's Dracula show up in the DC? Yeah, if they do it right. Um, personally, to me, what was that last Dracula movie? Dracula Untold. That would have been the perfect Marvel Dracula origin. That's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, this is Marvel? Well, no, it wasn't. That would have been a perfect way to do Dracula. So I want to see Dracula, but I don't want Blade fighting him first. Like, yeah, I don't. Not sure how I feel about Secret Wars possibly being adapted. Why not? If they can do it, because that's the only one the Russo brothers say they will come back for it. If they can adapt, yeah. If they can adapt, Infinity Gauntlet and all that, then I would trust them to do that. They got a good track record. But that, to me, that would be the perfect way to incorporate all the other characters that, especially mutants and vampires and all these other things. Like, because I can't just see them just incorporating mutants into the current world now with no explanation of where they've been on them. With the Eternals, it makes more sense. They're the only way I can see them doing mutants in this world is if they go on to say that Professor Xavier wiped the whole Earth's mind of mutants. That's the only way. He put on Cerebro and said, "Okay, we'll stay hidden. Nobody will know about us." But still, there has to be a reason for it. For him to just say, "Okay, let's blip everybody." Vampires too. Like, where vampires been all that time? Where you gotta have some kind of explanation of if you have them saying like populations, like certain people are gone missing, maybe, like, I hate to use it, but let's say, for example, we start seeing in other movies them talking about all over the country and all the world, the homeless population has been depleting. But we don't know why. Maybe that would be, you could kind of go, well, vampires been feeding off of the homeless to kind of stay quiet. I'm just saying. Let's see. So since DC Comics is coming out with a live action Static Shock movie soon, which obscure black DC hero do you want to see get more attention and spotlight outside of Static? Just a bunch. But if we're gonna stay like milestone characters, I love them to give an Icon and Rocket movie. That'd be great. Since the TV show ended, let's go full throttle. Maybe a Black Lightning movie. And maybe a Bronze Tiger. Let's see Ben Turner. Vixen is great. I mean they've done the animated stuff for her, but let's get something live action for Vixen. Mari McCabe is a great character. If business wise, you start for DC, it seems more business wise to start with the more popular black characters before going into obscure, lesser known characters. Um, I'm just saying. Uh, my favorite Aretha Franklin song, "Respect." That's my favorite song. I love that song. Uh, hey, I wasn't guessing it. As long as mom does not get complacent and start with lazy writing, which I doubt. Lazy writing is one thing that bugs me. I totally agree with that. Like, one thing I don't want everything to fall into is time travel, because time travel can be done good, and then sometimes it'll mess up. I mean, as good as Endgame was, it had a lot of plot holes with time travel. Let's be honest, it did. Um, for example, Nebula Nebula's past self dying, and she's still alive. That shouldn't have happened. They made their own version of their own. To me, anything that has happened in Back to the Future, that is my perfect example of good time travel movie. I don't I no I can't or Quantum Leap too. I'll take that too. But yeah, man, like lazy writing is one thing, but that I doubt would happen because Kevin Feige is really serious about keeping good writers, even if they're up and coming. Um, Directors. Notice he does. Kevin Feige never hires like big name directors. He always stays with. He always hires directors that have some buzz, but they're not like mega stars or something like that. Um, and he's able to get like these top notch actors. I never would have thought for a minute. You know, Selma Hayek and Angelina Jolie would be in a Marvel movie, but they are. And what sold Selma Hayek, if I remember correct, she wasn't going to do it if she was going to play like I forgot what she was going to something stereotypical, but she didn't. And yeah, they have, and yes, Marvel. I'm not saying that the MCU doesn't do some things like race, gender change, gender swap characters, because a lot of the Eternals, for example, Ajax, the leader that Salma Hayek is playing, supposed to be a man, not a woman, but the Eternals are one few Jack Kirby creations that never really, not a lot of people read or don't know a lot about. And yes, not too long ago, Jack Kirby was the king's birthday. So yeah, but that man is truly the king, and he has so much creations. It's not even funny. Um, all right, I'm missing questions. All right, yep. Let me. All right. Let me. So, any particular thoughts on current Moon Knight? I haven't read it yet. I haven't read the first issue. I have it. I'm catching up right now, so I haven't read it yet. David Bigelad, how are you feeling about them doing Ironheart series before introducing Iron Lad? And is it kind of disrespectful to Ironheart with Pepper and Tony's daughter being alive, seeing someone use her father's tech? No, not really. Because people shit on how smart Riri is. She is smart enough to create her own armor, and my God, by God, being that she's gonna first debut in Black Panther 2, we're probably gonna see just how smart she really is. People downplay that this girl, reverse engineered things that Tony couldn't do. And being the fact that one, Tony's daughter is too young. Two, you can see they are building to the Young Avengers. So it's just a matter of time before we see that younger version of Kang. because that's who Iron Lad is. So no, I don't. I don't think it's a disrespectful at all. I am looking forward to seeing Riri's armor, and I talked about this earlier before in another video where I feel that Riri won't use the same color scheme. That I have a feeling what would be great is if she says, okay, I won't use his color scheme, but I'll use my own. Maybe adapt another version of it. Like, remember when they kind of restarted um, the Marvel comics, and Iron Man had that black and gold look? I wouldn't mind if Riri went with that. That'd be like, okay, it's not, because if you just go with the red, yellow, then yeah, okay. Even the rescue armor didn't look like the rescue armor. Rescue armor is supposed to be red and white. In this, it was gold and blue. So it is what it is. Little things, not gonna mind too much. I am looking forward to seeing Dominique Thorne as Riri. She gets so much shit, but Miles gets so like I always I I always feel like, why does Miles get so much? He's kind of a clone too, like it is what it with armor powered heroes. It always centers around Iron Man, and that's always going to be the case. Period. But I guarantee you, probably going to see Riri in Armored Wars with Rhodey. We're gonna see her, and I hope she does her thing too. I'm pulling for that. What are your thoughts on the '70s Hulk series with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby? I didn't mind. It's funny because just some of the things that would just set Bruce off in that. One of them, the funniest one to me was he was on the phone, payphone, and the payphone said, you need to insert 25 cents. I don't have 20, and he just starts hulking. I'm like, God damn, like. Or there was one guy that just literally grabbed his hand, I'm like, okay, some of the stuff was just weird, instantly weird, that I just like, okay, just it's more than just if I grab Bruce like this. It's more than just that. But I did enjoy it, and I understand Lou Ferrigno's comments, about, I put on all that muscle. I didn't use CGI, but then I'm like, Mr. Ferrigno, wait, hold on, man. That ain't CGI for Chris Evans. He bulked up to get big like that. RDJ worked out, shredded himself. Even who's Ant-Man? Paul Rudd. He got into shape for it. Like, these actors do. Chris Hemsworth, goddamn, he gets into shape to play Thor. So you hold off on the whole CGI. I understand it's the Hulk, but the Hulk has always been described as a big character. He's never been. I've never seen the Hulk be like a 6'9" man. They always say he's about 8 to 9 feet tall. I understand that, but it is what it is. It's just a little weird sometimes. I understand where he's coming from, but then there's also times I'm just like, come on, man. That's just me. I'm just saying. Let's see. Warhawk, do you like the idea of Destroyer being in the Monsterverse? Yes, I do. I actually want Destroyer in the MonsterVerse. If he is, I definitely want Destroyer. He's probably the next big bad that has given the G-Man a hard time. Definitely. Uh, so would you like to read about a new DC comic run on the highly obscure Black Super Bloodwing, or at least a new legacy? It depends. It depends. Let's see. Let's see. Next question. Let's see. Okay, David Biglad again. How do you feel about them forcing a lot of black characters in the Black Panther movie that had nothing to do with Black Panther in it? Like Ironheart is like they're trying to reboot her origin. I just talked about that. I had no problem with them including Ironheart. I I'm trying to think of somebody who they incorporated into somebody else's movie, and they kind of, well, we're gonna see. For example, we're gonna see Echo in the Hawkeye, and rumor has it Maya Lopez is getting a spinoff series. Yeah, it because it felt like that. We remember we had a conversation about that with Black Lightning. So like, oh, are they just gonna put every black? Yeah, yeah. I think that's. But what I think is gonna happen with Riri is they're gonna use her as a means of expanding what was already expanded in the first movie. That Wakanda now is gonna be more out there. Who knows? She may get a scholarship from like Wakanda, like, oh, they appreciate her skills, and like, okay, that's how I feel that may happen. I'm just saying, could happen. Maybe should be Shuri's pupil. Huh? Shuri's pupil? Oh, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe she. Shuri already outshined Tony. Shuri. Who knows? Like I said, that's what I'm saying. Tony improved. Like, why didn't you guys just? Yeah, that's why I'm. That's why I'm saying is maybe it is Shuri, because remember Shuri, she said she wants to set up embassies all over the United States, let people understand Wakanda. Who knows? She may set up something in Chicago where Riri's from, and they become, and Riri becomes. Set up something for Kevin Durant. Who? Never mind. All right. Who knows? They're just saying. Next, do you like to watch? Do I like to watch game shows? Yeah, I have my favorites and I have my least favorites. Excuse me. I'm a big Family Feud fan. I've been watching that since I was a kid. Been watching Wheel of Fortune since I was a kid. Well, that was my mother's favorite show. She was so good at that game show. Like, she can guess the puzzle before some of them even solve it. Like, she could just see like two letters, and she'd be like, "Oh, this phrase," and things like that. I used to always tell her, like, man, Mom, you should have gone on that show. She wasn't. I like Jeopardy, but I'm not. I'm not an avid watcher of it. And as of right now, with what's going on with Jeopardy now, it's kind of messed up. Like, what's going on with that show. I used to watch Price is Right with my granddad. He liked that show. But I do like game shows. I do. Game shows are fun. Brielle Davis, do you think they should just make Daphne Keene continue Wolverine's legacy instead of trying to find a whole new different person? I personally think she uh, she did an amazing job in Logan and should continue as Wolverine. You mean Laura? Yeah, I mean Laura did take up her dad's legacy, Wolverine, and then when he came back, she still did. Um, Once again, that would indicate that they are adapting the Fox X-Men universe. I don't think they're going to do that. Um, I don't want them to do that. I actually, there's certain I don't want them to do. I don't want them to keep anything from the Fox movies because the Fox X-Men world was a hit more was misses more than hits. Um, from just everything. And my biggest scare with them bringing in mutants is are they going to tone down the mutants in terms of like we all know there's different levels to a mutant. Some levels are like a alpha level, or but then you got the, the most being an omega level. You know, like Storm is an omega level mutant. Iceman is a mega level mutant. Jean is an alpha level mutant. You know, I hope they don't tone that down. You know, number two, don't go right to Magneto. Forget Magneto as the main villain. They need they need to bring in villains they have not used. One of them being Mr. Sinister. You know what they could do with Mr. They can make Mr. Sinister out like the boogeyman. They can make him out to be like you remember you know how they did it in Harry Potter, like Voldemort was like, we don't speak his name. Perfect. I want them to go obscure like Mojo. Oh my God, that would creep the fuck out of people. You know, Mojo. I want them to go. I want the Savage Land Indians. I want that type of stuff. Don't even go near the Phoenix. Stay the fuck away from the Phoenix. Bring in the Shi'ar. I don't mind that, but stay the hell away from that because they have failed twice with that. Period. I want them to bring in Alpha Flight. I want them, just you gotta go. You gotta do all that stuff. Look at everything Fox did wrong with them and say, we're gonna do better. Uh, Kuma, who would be your non-comic lineup for the Hand? Go watch it. I did it already. Do you feel like if they do bring Wolverine into the MCU, will he be Australian and be in Alpha Flight? Okay, all right. Now, first of all, okay, Hugh Jackman was Australian. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, what's a Canadian supposed to look like? Think about that for a second. What's a Canadian? Because I could be Canadian. You know, that doesn't matter. That like, but do I want him to be on Alpha Flight first? Hell yeah, that'd be great. They do. Oh, I've already said my piece on that. Do a Wolverine movie first, where he's a part of Department H, Alpha Flight, and at the end of that movie, Puck or Sasquatch or whatever say, yo, Logan, there's a dude in another room who wants to talk to you. This is like end credit. Goes in the room, and Logan's like, they said they wanted to see me. Well, what do you want, bub? Camera zooms out. My name is Charles Xavier. Hello, Logan, and I need your help. Because I've already said the coolest way to do the X-Men was you have the original 5, and then you do like giant size X-Men. You do an adaptation of that. That'd be cool. But I don't. you know, whoever they pick for Wolverine, the MCU version of Wolverine, this person is gonna, no matter what, this person has huge shoes to fill. Because how long was Hugh Jackman Wolverine? Think about that. What he did with that character, yeah, there were misses with that character. First and foremost, the fact that Wolverine was not a pretty good fighter. He wasn't. Not Hugh Jack. Wolverine can fight without just shink pulling out them claws. He's got years of combat training under him. But that person has huge. I've seen people say Tom Hardy. I've seen people say um uh uh Harry Potter himself. You know, I've heard people say Scott Eastwood. And I agree. Scott Eastwood would be pretty good. I'll take that. You know, you're the first thing, you're not gonna get a really small Wolverine. That's out of the question. Because Wolverine is my height. He's 5'3". There you go. Just with the body of a bodybuilder. But you still have to have the belief that this guy is a badass. And to me, if Scott Eastwood took up that role, that would be a role that would really kind of get him out of his father's huge shadow too. You know, I'm just saying. Whoever gets that role, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. You know, same thing with, well, not too much with Storm, because I'm really looking for someone else to play Storm, and someone who stands out. Because Storm, I said it before and I'll say it again. When she steps onto a panel in a comic, all eyes are on her. She's not timid. She's not quiet. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's a queen. You show respect to her. And in some cases, yeah, I do want a tall actress to play her. You know, but if I can't, I can't. But I definitely will say this is where colorism does play a factor. You know, because most people say, yeah, we want a darker skinned sister to play her. I will agree. I do want a darker skinned sister to play Storm. You know, and definitely have an African accent would be great. You know, people tend to forget. Yeah, Storm's African. You know, she, don't get me wrong. Give some respect to Halle, but you know, this and Rogue. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna move on. Moving on. I can't remember the name of the event, but what was your reaction when Darkseid killed Batman? Kind of like, I know what you're. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, right, and I was right. He wasn't killed. He was just sent in time. Lazy writing. There you go, right there. Would you be pro or anti-registration? Uh, Anti. I didn't like registering when they were doing it, so I wouldn't be against. Would you consider doing another Dashi Games edition for your next Try Not to Laugh? I don't. Maybe I'm gonna fail. I Dashi is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's gonna make me. He can make me laugh. He'll do something and I'll just laugh at it. I can't watch any of his videos and not really laugh at it. Like there's some videos I have watched countless times and I still laugh at it. He's just funny. He just makes me laugh. Like, and sometimes it's not. He doesn't have to do anything like loud. It's just sometimes it's just a look on his face. You just crack up laughing. Do you like Otis Redding? Yeah. Um, there's somebody you want to talk about a talk about a bio, they go do Otis Redding. If they do introduce Magneto, do you think they can cast him or change his origin, being black and Jewish, having him explode? I don't want any of that. I'm hearing all this stuff about making Professor Xavier and Magneto black. No, this is where I say there's no need to race change those characters.
They were influenced.
Yeah,
They were influenced by two notable black.
I understand the influence and who they're influenced by, but there's no need to change it. No need. And if they did, that's where I when they race change for the sake of just inclusion, I'm not with that. That's the problem I have with DC, and because they even have that in some kind of law, and there's an act in their like in their clauses, like something called the Inclusion Act. Um, it's weird. You go look it up. You can see it for yourself. Um, so no, I would not be cool with that. Would you like to see a new Superman animated series starring Keenan Kong or Kong Keenan? Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see the Chinese Superman. I like that comic. That comic was fun. It was cool to see Keenan go from being the arrogant prick and then finally realizing what that symbol means and what it means to be a Superman. It was good. I enjoyed that. Um, I like review. I keep my mind open. Lorenzo Smalls, you're killing me, Smalls. Sorry, I had to. Uh, thoughts on the new Saints Row? Um, um, when they showed that trailer of the new Saints Row reboot, I'm like, oh, okay. It looked. And now I'm reading more about it. There's going to be no additional characters. It's just these four characters that are in it, and each of them have their own job and everything like that. The more they talk about it, I'm like, okay, you still can be able to create your own boss. It's going to take place in the Southwest. You know, I got no problem with that. They want to kind of this verse. They want to get away from what made the first four Saints Row games stand out. Where you find zombies, you get superpowers, and go to hell.
Now, wait a minute. You should leave out one.
Yeah, well, one.
I mean,
Yeah,
one had zombie win.
Yeah,
it was three.
Yeah,
two
yeah,
on that really like okay.
Yeah, they want to kind of take that stuff and kind of.
Three is just super over time.
They want to kind of bring it back to a little grounded. I don't mind that. You know, it, but once again, eventually they're going to have to kind of stand apart. What makes Saints Row good was that it stood apart from just being that stereotypical GTA clone. GTA has become way more realistic now than ever. And there's a lot of people that don't like it, and there's a lot of people that are cool with it. But they haven't even announced if the next GTA. All I keep hearing is they all I keep hearing is that it may be a female protagonist.
Russell trying to go hard with defendant, but bro, it's like
so it is what it is. But I don't mind. I don't mind at all. As a wrestling fan, what are your thoughts on some complaining about Captain Carter look to Manish in the first What If episode? What's that have to do with wrestling? I didn't mind it. I loved it. I mean, there were other people before Karen became Captain America. I posted that on a post. showing all the women that came before her, and even showed Karen, Peggy Carter. I keep saying Karen, yeah. Uh, Peggy, you know, what even, but I didn't mind. It's, you know, anybody that's to me, all that is people insecure about strong women. That's how I look at it. You know, they look at women who get into shape and get muscular or get toned up and trimmed. They're scared of that. That's all that is.
What is he talking about, though?
But I don't know what the wrestling has to do with Captain Carter. That I didn't get that. So could a Russian version of the Justice League work out in the comics? They've done a Chinese version of it. And the only thing I can think of with Russia, they would probably just do Justice League International with International, which they've done before. Shuri and Riri Dream Team. Yeah, Dream Team. If you had to pick a character you had made to feature in the comics, wait, who would be the character and how would you like to introduce him in the MCU? Okay, if you had to pick a character, right now I would go with Chris Powell, aka Darkhawk. It's about time they start incorporating more cosmic characters into the MCU, and I would do it. I would have Chris. I would actually have it a Disney Plus series, so people can get to know who Chris is and this powerful. All I'm doing is basically because all Darkhawk is the Marvel equivalent of one of my favorite Japanese heroes, the Guyver. That's all it is. That's all it is. So I'd take influences of the Guyver. Like, boom, okay. Kid finds young, late teenage kid, like 19, 20, finds a amulet in what is alien tech and everything like that. There you go. I'm going Darkhawk all the way. Travis, do you think some fans are just entitled? Yep. Same here. All these Family Feud. Yeah. Marion, who do you think makes Candyman? What do you think makes Candyman stand out from other horror icons? And what do you think what do you think he represents? What makes him stand out? I get one being he's black. That's definitely one. Um,
Tony Todd making the character come to life.
yeah, I definitely give a lot of credit to Tony Todd. You know, that's why I love Tony Todd. I want to meet Tony Todd. You know, he made that character come to life before this new one. But yeah, one definitely he's a black horror villain. You know, horror icon. You know, and it wasn't yeah, and that's another thing. It's not a black exploitation version of a character. Number two, number three or four, you know, it has a bit of realism because even before the movie, you know, there was the whole story of say go in the mirror and say Candyman and see what happens. So he represents just a struggle that black folks have had for years. The first movie was perfect, you know, and and then the sequels they got bad, you know, because what I didn't like about the sequels that it just felt like Candyman just became like a stalker of the of the woman he loved ancestors. Like it just got weird. I was just like, okay, it's another one of her ancestors. Oh, you're gonna stalk her too now, right? Yo, what the hell? Like, I mean, it was creepy when you seen how, you know, what happened to him and how he got his hand cut off and everything, you know, but you know, be my bride, be my victim. He made that great. and the setting where it took place at the first. Yeah, it mattered. Setting mattered to that. To me, they should just cancel Jeopardy. It's just not the same without Alex Trebek. Uh, People love LeVar Burton as the replacement, so yeah,
It's gone on for too long to just cancel.
yeah, it's too much of a an
It's
iconic.
Yeah,
It's
too ingrained. in
it's yeah, it's an iconic cultural game show. That's like canceling in some. That's like doing like canceling The Price is Right. Bob Barker maybe not be doing the who they got now. They got Drew Carey. He's the still going. All the different hosts that took over Family Feud still going. Like these shows are just ingrained. The only show that has not come back that I don't think so. I could be wrong. Is like Love Connection. I have not seen that back yet. Let's see. Do you feel that Miles have a better chance of a live action series on Disney Plus if MCU does the ultimate take on a definite tomorrow? I think Sony is that got Miles on lock. They're and if that's the case, fine. I would rather them do Miles than Sony taking. I really want them to just y'all could do Miles. Let Kevin Feige and all them do Peter. Like back off. Like because to me, I keep saying it and I'm gonna say it again. I don't care what anybody got a problem with. Sony just is throwing shit at the wall like that. Oh, Black Cat, Silver Sable movie. Oh, it's stuck. Let's do it. Oh, Craven the Hunter movie. Oh, it's stuck, kinda. Let's still do it. Nah, like they're just throwing shit at the wall just to see what sticks. I don't give two shits about this Venom movie. I don't care Carnage in it. It makes no goddamn sense to me. Still makes no goddamn. They paid Woody Harrelson a shitload of money to be in this movie, and if this movie don't, I didn't like the first Venom. I'm not. I don't. Everybody asks me, "Are you going to see Venom 2?" Nope. I don't care. I don't care. I don't like the fact that Venom has no connection to Spider-Man before going solo. That don't fly with me. That don't fly with me at all. Never has. I don't nah. Ken, thoughts on the new Marvel Midnight Suns game? I love the intro. I love that cover of one of my favorite rock bands, Metallica's Enter the Sandman. Love that. That cover was beautiful. I was like, ooh, I like that. I know there's a lot of people that have a problem with they're not using the real Midnight. Well, they got some characters, but not all of them. Once again, it's business. It's business. You're not gonna just make a game and have that lineup. You go look at the original members of the Midnight Suns. They're not gonna put a game. They need characters that people see that like, oh, okay. Oh, Wolverine. Okay. Oh, but who's that character? Who's that? Who's the girl with the staff? Nico Minora. Who's you need, but they're still keeping the homage of the Midnight Suns with that they are going after Lilith, the mother of all demons and stuff like that. That was the whole reason why that team came together. Johnny Blaze, Dan Kench, Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze didn't have the Ghost Rider. His brother, Danny Kench. Blade. You saw Blade in them, Hannibal King. All those are nobody knows. Not a lot of people know. I know those characters. You maybe know those characters, but not everybody knows those characters. Let's be honest. Okay, let's not fool ourselves. The average person, the average don't know squat of those characters. So you got to bring in characters that they do know. Then that's going to get people maybe into them more. Same thing like Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The first game, you know, they built it kind of around Cap, Thor, Spider-Man, Wolverine. We all know those characters. But then you saw all those other characters that was in that game too, right? Right? So it's business. It's fine. I need gameplay now because they're saying this game is like an RPG similar to like Mass Effect. Choices be made that will affect characters. The choice, I'm like, okay, I'm down with that. You know. Uh, wait, hold on, guys. Um, let's see what's next. All right, keep it going. Uh, I always thought Wolverine as a street brawler, kind of a kind of a fighter. He's more than a brawler. The comics have done a better job of showing that from his time in Japan and all that stuff. You see, this dude is not just a brawler. He's more, as Chris Claremont always stated, Wolverine is a Ronin. He is a samurai, and I believe that it's coming from Mr. X-Men himself. Yeah. Shoot. Um, do you think people are overreacting of the new Saints Row? I haven't really looked at the comments, and I try not to. Um, I think personally, Saints Row kind of needed a reboot because it's like, what more could you do now? Yeah, they did practically everything, with the original. I love those characters, uh, but what more could you do? You know, I mean, hell, this street gang goes from being from this to then becoming the boss becomes fucking president. It's like, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. It it was a reason why Storm was Charles' right hand person. Even was the leader of it. She have that respect aura about her. Yeah, and I love Storm as leader of the X-Men. When she was leading the X-Men at the first time, she didn't have powers. She lost her powers for a while. That's why she gets a little bit more uber respect from me than Cyclops. And notice I haven't called him Dick Summers. He's losing that aura. Rogue taking Carol's powers needs to happen, and that would be cool. I still want to see Carol lose her powers by maybe Rogue, or you know, I it would have to be some reason why, because there was a reason why Rogue did it the first time. She was being manipulated by her stepmother. Uh, Speaking of Canada, my mom and dad were going to move from Britain to either there or Australia, where I'm not born in Australia. I would have been a Canadian. What are you what are your thoughts on the show Heels? Have not watched it yet, but I've heard good things about it. I definitely want to check it out. I have not watched it yet. Otis Redding bio, yeah, it was such a tragedy. Like Warhawk. Would you like to see an animated adaptation of Superman True Brit? I don't think I've read that. I can't remember if I did. True Brit. Are you talking about True Grit or Brit? I can't. I don't think I read that. But I'll take anything Superman, more Superman. You know, he don't. Just saying. What bio? What biop have you seen that you can say they could have done a better? They could have done better. Uh, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. The one with uh, Jason uh, Jason Scott Lee. They could have done a better job with that because to me, they focused way too much on the curse of the family and the demon and everything like that. I was like, yeah, I didn't like that. But there were a lot of things I did like about it. And I don't hate Jason Scott Lee for doing his best to portray the icon, one of my idols. But there was some things that just they focused too much on the so-called rumors and not on the truth. That's the best way I could describe it. For example, you know, well, that was real. That was actually real. Like a lot of the Asian masters and everything did not want Bruce training non-Asians. He was like, that to them they're the enemies. Like don't teach them our history. And Mr. Lee was like, teach whoever wants to learn. He's right. The rumor that he actually got into a real fight on one of his movie sets. Um, they really played up more of the rumors. That he and I'm forgetting the actor who played the Green Hornet. They had beef with each other. It's like, but it is true that in Hong Kong they looked at that show as the Kato show, not the Green Hornet. So there were some things they did right, but that was a buyout movie that I felt like they really focused too much on the rumors and not the real, especially the realness of the man himself, his philosophy and everything like that. I didn't like. How would you feel? How would you feel of MCU introducing Gladiator into the Shi'ar, the Imperial Guard? Big lad, I'm all for. I want to see Clark. I want to see those characters. I've said it before. I want to see every Marvel character in the MCU at some point. I want to see them. And with Kevin Feige's mind and his what he does, like the man, I trust that man. He has not given me any reason not to trust him. Uh oh, okay. Let's see. Fans are way too entitled. Yeah, especially Star Wars. Yeah, yeah. Uh, as a wrestling fan, were you? As a wrestler, we're used to seeing women like China, Nicole Bass, Tessa Blanchard, who are built like Captain Carter, whooping ass, and we have no problem with that. What's the difference? Probably the difference. They're real. She's fake. I'm just saying. I don't know. What was the last good werewolf movie you watched over the years? Dog Soldiers. Good movie. There's a werewolf movie that came out not too long ago. I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely. But Dog Soldiers, one of my favorite werewolf movies. Good shit right there. Price is Right was one of least favorite game shows. Laughing. Okay. Uh, what would Doctor Strange think of the Justice League Dark? I think he wouldn't mind. I could care less about Venom too. I'm just saying. Do you think Wolverine would be a good leader for the Thunderbolts? Uh, no, because the hindsight of Thunderbolts has always been there was a villains posing as heroes until later on there were some of them that really wanted to turn over a new leaf. I know Luke Cage was the leader, but still, it's like Wolverine. He probably ended up putting a claw on one of them. Like for example, let's say Bullseye was on the team. He was leading the Thunderbolts that Bullseye was on. He'd be ready to kill Bullseye, and he would do it too. Like I'm taking this fool out. uh, you're killing me, Smalls. Uh, have you played the Black Panther DLC? No, I have not. No. Do you think Graydon Creed is jealous of family powers? Yeah, and he's a bigot too. He's an asshole. No, yeah. Superman True is where his ship lands in. I have not read that. I have not read that. See, I figured that what it was. I have not read that. There's some Superman stories I have not read, um, but it's similar to like Superman Red. Red Sun. I get it. If they adapted Red Sun, why not do that? I'm just saying. Most brutal knockout in boxing. That's tough. I've seen several, but that's tough. Tragic indeed, and almost all of the band members of the two. Yeah. Have you ever looked or read Image version of the TMT? It's now called Urban Legends. IDW finished it. Yeah, I have it. I read the Image version first, and that was where they actually crossed over with Savage Dragon, and I thought that was an interesting crossover. I have met Eric Larson, the creator of Savage Dragon. Hell of a dude. Even explained to me how he came up with Savage Dragon. I actually think I posted it on my channel. You could check it out. I met him at New York Comic Con 2018 or 19. One of them. Yeah. It was great. Uh, Smalls, you're killing me, Smalls. Uh, wait, what? Would I pay money to see? Wait, what? What would I pay money to see a Animal Man movie? Yeah, maybe. I like Animal Man. I'm not the biggest Animal Man fan, but I do like characters who can tap into the animal kingdom. I do like that. That's why I like Vixen so much because she takes on that stuff. um, what storyline do you want them to do in the Green Lantern live action series on HBO? Well, from what I hear, the Green Lantern show is going to be an anthology. You're going to see this version of Green Lantern and this version. It's not going to just be one full story. It's going to be like an anthology series. They'll do Alan Scott in the 40s and so on and so on and things like that. I don't know what they're going to do. Especially it depends on which Green Lantern. There is no Kyle Rayner. They still shit on that character. DC shits on Kyle Rayner. I don't understand why. He's one of my favorite Green Lanterns, but they shit on him. But they want to go with Guy Gardner, right? Which I could care less about. But I do love my Alan Scott. I'll always have love and respect for the original Green Lantern, no matter what they do to him. Always. Uh, do you feel that they should have did the prequel books for new take for Dune? To explain why they have. Oh, it's been a long time since I've read the Dune books. Um, so I can't really go into it's been a long time, but um, I am pretty interested in seeing this new Dune